Hi everyone, my name is Abel Grey Kantoma. I'm from GREYTEST Card Design Concept. This is actually my WhatsApp contact. You can reach me on this number or you can call me, okay? Today I'm going to be showing you how to actually do some little settings on your some general settings, okay? So we are going to those general options right now, okay? So if I come to my file, I'll click on file here and I go down to options. You can see options here. I click on options and then you can see here we have general, okay? Now show feature descriptions in screen tips, okay? You can see what we have here. I can go down. Don't show feature description in screen tips. Don't show screen tips, okay? I can decide to switch on any of this. For example, if I switch on this, you may not see the effects on the particular work we are doing right now, but if I click on create new, before then, let me just show you something here. Look at now, as I'm taking my cursor around each of this, you can see it's telling me this is indent tags. If I take it here, you can see this is outdent, okay? So now let's take a new let's click on new project blank, okay? Now let's try what we just did the other time. Now it will actually from our settings, let me explain that. I said don't show feature description in screen tips, okay? Now don't show screen tips. If I am to switch this to this, I try to create a new project, I click on blank. So on this you can see there is no indication, there's no description for each of this tool, okay? There is no description for any of this, okay? So we can't find any of that here. So I usually like to leave it as this to show feature description in screen tips, okay? And then I'll click on OK. So it will not take effect, like I said, until I create a new project. Okay, let's take it now. I thought we did that settings. Okay, I don't think I got that right. Okay, it's still here. Show feature description. Sorry, if I take this now, okay, if I take this now, sorry, I come to blank objects, what do I have? Good. So this is actually the point I'm trying to make. So I've created a whole lot of this. I'm going to cancel them. Okay, coming back here, I'll still go back to my option. If I come here, Gantt with timeline. Okay, as you can see, this one here, if you look at this here, you can see there is a timeline here. Okay, you can see telling us from Friday, March 26 to Thursday, April 1st. Okay, So if I actually don't want this timeline to actually appear, all I need to do is I can switch this to Gantt Chart. Okay, so if I switch this to Gantt Chart, just like what we did initially, this is actually not going to take effect immediately until I create like a new project, or I start a new project, or I actually close this particular file and bring it back. We are going to see that that timeline has actually gone off. You can't see that timeline again. Okay, so let's go back and bring our Gantt chart timeline. Okay, and then click on OK. So if I create a new and I click on blank out project, now you can see our timeline is actually back. Still on option, you can see our dates format. You can actually switch to whatever format that you actually want. You can see this is telling us the day first, telling us it's Wednesday, and then the first. Okay, and then this is on the 28th, okay, of this is actually on the 28th. Okay, and then it's the month of January. Okay, 2009. Okay, so I can actually switch this format to whatever pattern I feel is more suitable for me. Okay, so I'm going to leave it as it is. The username by default from my system, the system name is actually Grey. I can actually change the name, and then office theme, I can switch this to dark gray. If I click on OK, you will see that will actually take effect. Okay, you can see it has taken effect. If I come back to options, and then I can switch it back to colorful, for example. Good. Now let's go back to our options. If we come to display, now we have different type of calendars here. The Gregorian calendar is actually what I usually use, but you can switch to any kind of calendar you feel is suitable for you, but the Gregorian is actually the most generally accepted one. And then the project currency option for the project, this is actually we have different. I have opened so many projects on the system, as you can see, up to 4 of them. So if I come here, you can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this is the list that is actually showing me here. So so I'm actually on project 8. Okay, by the software itself will actually generate a name by default for you. Okay, but you can actually change the name of that project. We are actually going to go into that much more later. The placement, you can see this is our dollar. The currency is actually in dollar, but you can switch to whatever kind of currency you actually use in your country. Okay, so not all countries are actually available here. So but if your country currency is actually available here, then you can actually just come here and switch to the country, to your currency. Okay, and then the placement, and then the symbol of this currency is actually you can see this is the symbol. You can actually switch it to whatever symbol you feel is actually you will actually understand better. Okay, but by default this is actually the symbol it gives you, and this is a symbol for dollars, which is actually very much correct. If I come down to my schedule, okay, now week starts on Sunday. Yes, by calendar the first day of every week is actually on a Sunday, and then the fiscal year starts in January. Okay, so the first month of every year is January, but you can decide to actually switch to whatever month you feel like your year is going to start from. You may decide to choose February, March, or April, but by default, and January is actually the month which every year starts with January. Okay, and then the default start time. Okay, what time do you normally resume your office, or you resume site by what particular time? Okay, so I prefer to leave it as 8 o'clock, and then maybe you get up to, let's say, 6 p.m, and then I'll switch this to the PM side. Okay, good. And then the hours per day, how many hours do you work, okay, per day? And then the hours per week, the days per month, so how many days do you work? Okay, so there are offices, or there are some sites that usually works maybe for 5 days, maybe from Mondays to Fridays. Some actually works from Mondays to Saturdays. Okay, usually Sundays are always free days. Okay, on some sites, or most especially here in Nigeria. Okay, so it depends on the project and how fast you actually want to meet up with that project. There are some projects, maybe because of time, you may want to actually include Sundays over time. Okay, you work even on Sundays, so all of that can actually be adjusted from here. Okay, so from 8 to 6 is actually 8 hours. Hours per week, we are going to have so, and then the number of days you actually work per day. All of these you can actually adjust this from here as well. So show assignment unit as a percentage, you can switch it to a decimal. Okay, and then here the new tags created, as we are creating our tags from, if you have been following from our previous episode, we did manual schedule. Okay, you can switch this to automatic schedule, so whatever project you are working on, it will actually automatically use an automatic schedule for you. We're actually going to go deeper into that. We'll explain that better as we continue in this series. Project start date. Okay, automatic schedule task scheduled on, auto schedule task scheduled on. Okay, so project start date. Okay, or the actual date you're actually going to start the project, because you may decide to do this before the day of even before the project itself. Okay, so you may decide to do all of this planning even before then. Okay, so your calculation will actually be based on the day you're actually starting the project. Okay, but if you want it to take effect with the current date, that's the particular day that you are doing this. Okay, the days in duration is entered in days. Okay, you can switch that to minutes, to hours, to weeks, to months. All of these can actually be adjusted. Okay, let's go down. Calculate project after each edit. On, yeah, it's on, so automatically this default fixed cost accrual. Okay, I always like to leave it as it is here like this. Okay, so if you love what you're seeing, make sure that you actually like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel. It's actually 100% free. Click on the bell icon so as to get a notification whenever I post videos. I post videos like this on a weekly, sometimes on a daily, so as to encourage as many that actually want to have a deeper insight of design. For sponsorship, you can actually call this number, you can DM me on WhatsApp. You just want to show us some love, and then you want to be part of our sponsors, you can actually, for more information, you can call me or you can DM me on WhatsApp. Okay, make sure that you stay safe and make sure